Today we are going to be fixing the biggest issue with my Chevy Cruze. This has probably been one of the biggest reasons of why I have not been driving this car lately, and that is simply because it is not running right. It started to come to like a weird idle when I would come to like stop signs and things like that, which I thought it was the PCV valve that is built into the valve cover. I have had that issue in the past. Before we start changing anything, I want to run the codes. This car's been sitting for so long that the battery's like toast. And if you guys see all these parts in the background of this video, that is a video that is going to be coming very, very soon, but body work in the wintertime sucks. It is almost 50 degrees in Ohio, so what better way than to spend it outside working on the Cruze. I don't know how long this nice weather is gonna last, but I'm gonna enjoy it while it's here for a little bit. I have a very basic scanner tool, but this gives you enough information, allows you to clear stuff off. The beeping in this car is very annoying, but so we have two codes that are coming up: intake airflow system and fuel trim system lean. So I actually ran these codes the other day after the car was on. I did not start the car today, but the other day I did, and then ran it, and I had a couple extra ones that were not just listed on this scanner. So the other day when I scanned these codes, they said it could be the mass airflow sensor, which I actually ordered a new one, or a dirty intake, and I figured I put this on probably 4 years ago now, and I've never cleaned it. So I decided to clean this, and I'm waiting on this to come in the mail. It's supposed to come today, so while I'm recording this video, it should get here. This K&N air filter actually cleaned up very nicely. It wasn't really that dirty to begin with. Basically just doing everything I've seen suggested to kind of cover all the small things before I start to suggest something bigger is wrong with this. You guys hear how like the idle changes? It's really weird. It'll be idling normal like this and then start to do that and then go back and forth. Then it will occasionally sound like it literally wants to die. I hope you guys heard that. Obviously, I don't want it to run too long because this thing sounds like crap. And I'm sure also with it having a very, very poorly charged battery is not helping this at all, because in the inside all the lights in the radio starts to flicker, which I would assume is low voltage. Trust me, I want to see this car on the road just as much as you guys do. While I'm at it, I do want to check the plugs and kind of just see what they look like with this car throwing a lean code. When this car hit 100,000 miles, I did pretty much all the basic maintenance stuff to it, and this thing only has 104,000 miles I think now. So majority of the stuff has been recently done. The car has just been sitting for a while. Like I've said, these spark plugs were just changed only a few thousand miles ago, and they really don't look that bad. They're not where they need replaced. Now I'm gonna check the other three. It is now the next day, and like I was telling you guys, the warm weather was not gonna last long, but we have the new MAF sensor, and we're gonna throw this in and see if this is the problem. I figure I'll start with this because it is the easiest to do, and that is what the code is saying, but I really don't believe that. I think it is going to be the valve cover, because this is the PCV valve that's built into the valve cover, and this is the very, very, very common issue on the Chevy Cruze and the Sonics. These just go bad all the time for whatever reason. But let's start with getting this MAF switched out. As you guys can see, they sent me out the wrong one. It said it was for a 2014 Chevy Cruze. I bought off Amazon just to kind of go with like a cheap option, just to see if it would kind of work to start out. But this is the plug that mine has, and this is the plug of the one they sent me. So this is not gonna work at all. So with me having the wrong sensor, I'm going to jump to the next step, which is putting on the valve cover. Like I've said, it could be so many different things. And this, on top of all this going on, I have a coolant leak. There's coolant down there. I've already replaced like a coolant thing one time in this general area. I can't remember exactly what it was, but these cars are the worst with coolant leaks. There's always something leaking in the coolant system. Everything's made out of plastic, so as it heats, cools, stuff cracks, and it sucks. But yeah, this should be very easy. You gotta take out the coil packs again, that even though we already had them out, and then just basically get all these little bolts out and put the new one in with the gasket. So with the valve cover off, I'm gonna clean up a lot of the area where the seal is gonna sit, and then I'm gonna put a little dab of gasket maker where the timing cover meets the head. That way it just kind of seals off everything. Get the new one put on, snap everything back together, and hopefully once I clear the codes and turn this thing on, it will run kind of normal. Guys, I wonder if I did just find the problem. As I was putting everything back, this hose I think goes from the manifold back to like the turbo inlet part, literally just like snapped, and I barely was moving these wires putting the cover back on. I wonder if this was already broken and just like fully broke, and that was causing like the bad airflow kind of thing, like throwing off the AFRs. Because I think this has something to do with pressure. I'm not too sure what this is. I'm going to have to look into it. But I wonder if this is the issue. But now we have a new cover on, so maybe it was the issue, maybe it wasn't. But I need to order a new line, and then we can finally start this and figure out if this was the issue. And if it runs normal, I'll be happy. If not, I don't know what I'm going to do with this thing. This video is starting to turn into a little longer than I thought. But we have the new piece. This is the PCV valve hose. We're running out of daylight, so I'm going to try and make this quick. As the sun starts to go down, it is getting cold out here. The only thing left to do now is to reset these codes and fire this thing up and see if maybe it runs right. So far so good. The car is running normal. Typically it would already be doing that weird idle thing. I'm gonna let this thing run for a little bit, and then we're gonna take this thing on a little test drive. Already sounding 10 times better than this thing used to. You guys remember what this sounded like the first time I started this up. Dude, you guys don't believe how happy I am. This car has ran like garbage for probably the last year. It's part of the reason why I haven't really drove it, because I didn't want to like damage it more. But this thing is running phenomenal now. We're about to go on the test drive, so hopefully this thing does not leave us stranded. Have you missed the Cruze?
No. I'm kidding.
No, she's
kind
not.
of.
A lot of people that have been like following me on social media, this is like OG, like where I made all my friends from and started making content was with this car. Oh, I forgot how bad this thing scrapes over like tracks and stuff. That's really all I scrape on are tracks.
And our driveway.
Yeah, I guess I do scrape over the driveway just a little bit. I really forgot how good this car drives for being static. It's pretty smooth compared to most static cars that I've been in. I'm so excited to finally have the Cruze back and driving on the road and not running like crap. The next thing up on my list of things to do is get this body kit finished. That way we can get it all mocked back up and move on to the next thing. But if you guys made it to the end of the video, I have a question for you. Do you guys think I should redo the windows on the Cruze red again, since they're very faded? Or should I tint them back to black? It's been a very, very long time since there's been black window tint on that car. But I really have been telling myself I want to change the car up, which that car sits outside majority of its life now, and the red fades so bad in the sunlight. So I don't know if I want to keep redoing the red or go back to the black and completely change the car up. So go leave your guys' opinion, whether black tint or red chrome tint, down in the comments. I want to see what you guys think I should do. Before I end the video, I want to show you guys my new little like air setup over here. So Kayla went in with her parents and my parents. For part of my Christmas gift, they went and got me this new air compressor, because my old one was old. And I went out and bought this cool like hose reel, and I used to have one at my mom's house, but this one's pretty cool. It's all covered. I think it's such a nice spot for it, because I could go outside or pull it completely across the garage to like the far side and fill up everything. But it's been so handy having an air compressor that actually works in the garage. As always, if you guys are new, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Stay stancy.